You hungry? Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf?
This has like a mom's basement kind of feel.
Mom! Mom! Mom!
Still some stuff in the basement.
What basement?
Mom's Basement with Joe Frank. That is quite possibly the dumbest thing I think you've ever said. And Corey Diab.
I can't believe I take part in this show.
Part 2 of the MLB preview show for Mom's Basement is underway. As always, I'm your host, Joe. That's Corey.
Hi.
Make sure you guys follow Mom's Basement Twitter account on Twitter at MomsBasement18. Follow me, Joe, at Joe_Frank01. Corey at Corey El Diablo. Hit us with the follow. Let us know what you guys think about the show. Always love the feedback. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're on iTunes, do the same, but leave that 5-star review before you guys leave. Would greatly appreciate that. If you
also, hello to Shy Sox fan Mike, who is watching.
If you listen to the last episode, we talked about the American League, gave our thoughts. Basically, picking divisions are pretty easy in baseball. Not a lot of parity. There's a few good teams.
Lots of teams tanking.
Yeah, tons of tanking. If the NBA wants to threaten to fine the Bulls,
that's such bullshit. We can talk about that in another podcast, but it's just bullshit.
Then
sorry, I'm on the set.
Rob Manfred's got a lot of fines to hand out because MLB is tank city. We're doing the National League today, starting the same as we did the AL with the NL East.
Sup, Nats?
Speaking of tanks, the bottom of this division is yikes. We're gonna start with our top team. The Washington Nationals are going to win this division once again. Some changes.
By 20 games?
I have it down literally 20 games
yep.
At least. And it's not even close. I mean, just going down the division, the Mets, if their pitchers stay healthy, they're going to finish in second, but it's not going to be close, and it's a big if because this is what happens when you draft young arms like Syndergaard and you get Matt Harvey, who can't keep anything together. Steven Matz, I mean, just Wheeler, they can't get on the diamond at the same time for 30 starts a year, so it's just never going to work out.
It's unfortunate.
That's what happens. But the Nationals are going to just smoke this division. I mean, Atlanta's still not there yet. Miami, I could play for Miami right now. By the way, they raised their freaking ticket prices 40%.
Yeah, sure. Let's trade our best players and then raise ticket prices.
That's
a great business strategy.
I'm going to a Marlins game in Miami. You know how pissed I was the year that Derek Jeter just said big middle finger to anybody?
Wait, did you not have your tickets beforehand?
No. We bought them now, but I mean...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, sure is. I was pissed. I was going to wait till the day of. My parents made the executive decision.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, the game's not selling out.
Now, who are you going there to see?
It's Pittsburgh against Miami.
No, I'm saying what player from Miami are you going there
absolutely
to see?
Nobody. I'm just going there for the sake of going to the game.
So yeah, Miami, we don't even need to talk about it. Miami's finishing last, Washington's finishing in first. Miami's the worst fucking organization in baseball.
I mean, Washington, you know who they've got at the top of the rotation. Scherzer, two-eyed fiend, two different color eyes.
Hall of Famer, Max Scherzer.
He is a very, very good pitcher. Strasburg, he's on a tear. He was damn good last year. Even in the playoffs was damn good against the Cubs.
And Gio Gonzalez would be a nice 4 if they were to sign Jake Arrieta.
Yeah, I don't know why, if they haven't inquired on it. I mean, maybe Jake Arrieta.
They have. He's, I think it was Bob Nightingale. You can fucking trust Bob Nightingale for what you want to trust him for. He's basically Kenny Williams' mouthpiece. I don't trust him. But he said that the Nats have kept in touch with Jake Arrieta.
I feel like Jake Arrieta would be the last guy to concede to a 1-year cheap deal after what he's done in the last 3 years.
All his Marcus Stroman adversity that he went through.
I mean, Arrieta he's structured like a god. Like, have you seen? Like, he's a strong dude.
Steroids are a hell of a thing.
Nope, no steroids. I mean, they've tested him plenty of times. He would have failed the test by now.
Oh, I'm sure there's no.
Just like Rizzo.
I'm sure there's no way to get around a steroid test.
There's not, man. I think they caught all McGuire and Palmeiro and Clemens and Pettit. I mean,
because there wasn't a way to get around it then.
Caught everybody, man. So you got to trust the system, trust the process. All right. Arrieta didn't do roids. I mean, I think he just after what he's done on the field.
I'm just fucking around.
Yeah, he'd be the last guy, I think, to take a cheap ass deal. And if he was going to take a cheap 1-year deal, I think he would just go back to what he knows. Personally, the Cubs.
Well, that would be just horrific.
That'd be sick.
All the hot takes. Oh my god. But no, I don't think he's going to take a 1-year deal. I think if Washington wants to get him, you get him for like somewhere between 2 and 4 years, and you get him $60 to $70 million, and that's basically what you get for him. I mean, Jake Arrieta in that rotation is probably the 3, and that's just a fucking great rotation. If they were to acquire him, they might be my favorites in the National League at that point.
Yeah, I mean, they're not my favorites because they just
Clearly,
flat out
I mean,
prove they can't win in the postseason. Like, they cannot win a series. Does that change this year?
I never take that into account, honestly, when I factor it in.
People say that every year, and then they still lose. Like, they just don't win.
I mean, did the Cubs not winning for 108 years factor in your decision for them not being the favorites at some point?
I don't know, actually. I mean, the Cubs, in my lifetime, have been the favorites maybe 2 times. I mean, I love you to death, but you're a Cubs blowhard. I don't think you would ever even, consider picking against them. So I don't take that into account when I evaluate, a team. And they're getting Adam Eaton back. Yeah, that's going to be huge.
That's huge for them. Adam Eaton in his last year for the White Sox was a 6-WAR player, which is fucking great. I mean,
Harper's here for 1 more year until he walks. I mean, they've got Rendon, Turner, Murphy, who just hits the crap out of the ball.
Basically, they have to win. At least they have to win the NL for him to consider coming back. Bryce Harper.
And brand new manager from the Cubs bench, David Martinez. See what he can do because Dusty Baker won a ton of games in 2 years, and he gone.
Now, see, that's interesting because Dusty aside, David Martinez was always one of those hot manager candidates, especially when Joe Madden got hired. But people around the league have said he doesn't do well with
player relationships
and managing a clubhouse. So that'll be something to see if they start to struggle at some point. How does the team respond with that kind of personality?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because we've talked about this last year when teams were looking for managers, and you said the same thing because the White Sox were looking for a manager, and you're like, well, I've heard that. Martinez doesn't get a lot of players well. He doesn't manage the relationships very well, and that can be something that hinders him from getting a job. Didn't get a job. Now he gets a job this offseason with Washington. He's going to have...
It's super risky because he's a great baseball mind, but he's been around, Joe Madden for so long, but at the same time, when push comes to shove and shit gets rough, is he going to be able to lead them?
If they go to an NLDS Game 5 again and lose... I think that team just crumbles. They're going to...
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, they lose Harper. You lose Harper then. They have outfield prospects to replace Bryce Harper. You got Victor Robles and
You
Juan
can't
Soto.
replace...
No. I'm saying it doesn't fall off into this pit hole. You don't go from a guy who's a 6-7 win player to a guy who's a 0 win player. You're going to have a couple guys who come up who can be reliable contributors, and maybe Victor Robles could be a superstar. But going forward beyond that, you've got a guy like Anthony Rendon at third base who's going to be a free agent after 2019. You could be losing all these pieces. You have Adam Eaton on a cheap deal who's going to be here for a while. But, you're going to be... at some point, it's just not going to work out. You're going to start losing these pieces, and then you start to fall as the Braves start to rise.
Yeah, and I actually have it written down. I just looked. The Nationals... I have Nationals by 25 games. It's not 20. 25 games.
Because the rest of the division isn't that good. I mean, the Braves... could make some moves this year with the number 1 prospect.
The Braves
are number 2 prospect, but he should be number 1.
The Braves are decently close. I mean, like you said, they've got Acuna, they've got a lot of pitching prospects. There are a couple, I think, free agent acquisitions away, maybe a couple trades. Same with the Phillies. The Phillies, I think, are 1 or 2 years off. I mean, they have no salary committed to that team, so they have money to spend.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they've got good young players. And then the Mets are another team that's just they're fucking old.
The Mets are kind of just in limbo.
They're full of old men.
Because to be honest, they're just one of those things. I mean, Noah Syndergaard is fucking amazing. Their rotation is amazing, but they're the team that needs a lot of things to go right offensively while staying healthy in the pitching. If they could do that, sure, that's a playoff team, but that's a lot of ifs. I don't like teams with a lot of ifs.
And the pitchers are fragile, just to put it nicely. They're fragile. Their bullpen's not bad. Swarzak, Ramos, Blevins, Robles, Familia as a closer. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad pen, but I mean, they're just old men everywhere. Cespedes, Jay Bruce, Adrian Gonzalez.
Well, they have Dominic Smith at first base, who they've already seemingly given up on. He was like the 60th prospect in baseball last year, which is, he was one of the top first base prospects. And they're just like, let's fucking sign Adrian Gonzalez.
The Todd father on the other side of the diamond there. So, I mean, basically this division's going to be Nationals by a ton.
And then you can kind of, I would almost make an argument that based on how well Ronald Acuna does for the Braves, you can make an argument for the Braves to finish out.
I would say Mets, Braves, Phillies, Marlins going down the list in the NL East.
Just 2 teams in that division who have top farms, and they're coming, but
They're going
but
to
right,
be
but
top.
right now it's Washington's division.
Sure.
Not even close.
Moving to the NL Central.
I'll let you start.
Listen, let me tell you something right here. If you're not listening closely, zoom in on me.
How does zooming make them hear you better?
I'm going to tell you right goddamn now. Cubs by a billion. It literally does not matter who they play. Spanish Cubs for life. This is the best rotation in the goddamn division. It's the best manager in the division, the best GM, the best head of baseball operations, the best. It's Theo's fucking league, all right? The Cubs have taken this division once again. Milwaukee and St. Louis, second-class organizations. Of course, put up another finger. Yep. The Cubs are dominating this division. I think the Cubs win the division by 15 games this year. Milwaukee, you added Yelich. That's great. Who's going to pitch for you? I'm not coming out of retirement to save your season. It's just not going to happen. They got no pitching. St. Louis is a terrible manager in Mike Matheny. They don't have the pieces to get it done. Since he's rebuilding, Pittsburgh's rebuilding, the Cubs by a billion. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so I counted the number of hot takes that you had there that are just
Listen,
fucking...
hot takes get viewers, baby. Let's go!
As a Brewers fan, I am triggered.
Okay, well, number 7, first of all, was you coming out of retirement. That was like the most ridiculous hot take I've ever taken. Your arm almost fucking fell off. That was great. But, no.
Matt could train me.
I can't even just tell you how frustrated I am.
Wait, what?
Get me into shape, man. Get me into playing
Oh,
shape.
I thought I took that as something else.
Well, I hate whatever conversation you guys are having right now. I'll give you the rational baseball evaluation. Yes, the Cubs are going to win this division. Yes, they have one of the top 3 rotations in baseball. What?
Nothing. I'm just dabbing on you.
All right. I don't think that they're going to win the division by 15 games.
Huh?
What the fuck was
Bitch,
that?
where?
They're not winning.
Where's the competition?
How is
Where? You been who?
Oh, that's a great,
With where?
great video.
I hate all of you.
Why are you asking all these questions, dude?
What are you talking
No,
about?
I'm just referencing the video.
Oh, I'm just so frustrated at this point with all the Cubs takes and all the fucking
All right, let me
Barstool
read.
Dom who could walk into a fucking traffic jam and just fucking die. I'd be cool with it.
Zach
Wow.
Davies, Chacin, Chase Anderson, Gallardo, Wade Miley.
Yeah, I'm not saying the Cubs don't win this division by like 5-7 games, but I'm not saying that they're going to lose the win by 15 either.
This rotation is actually the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah? Is it?
It's actually trash.
Did you watch the Cubs from 2011 to 2014?
Yes, sadly.
Uh-huh.
Carlos Zambrano.
Okay, I heard the lip sound, didn't like that either.
I heard it over
You
here.
like that?
That's disgusting.
I mean, this rotation is
No,
absolute garbage.
Yeah, on baseball solely, the Cubs are going to win this division. I don't think that it's the signing of Yu Darvish was really huge.
Yeah, big.
I mean, it creates just great depth in their rotation. They probably, assuming the Nationals don't sign Jake Arrieta, they have the best 4 for a playoff series, including the love of my life, Jose Quintana. I see you, Matt. I don't give a shit about your balls or
Wait a minute, the love of your life, huh?
Jose Quintana.
Wow.
Yeah, I love
That's a
Jose.
big step at just 24 years old.
I'm not 24 years old.
23?
Yes.
Sorry.
Nobody likes you when you're 20, either.
Shut up, Matt. We don't need that. I hear that way too much when white girls turn 23.
Okay. So the Reds and the Pirates rebuilding, absolute garbage. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, Cardinals and Brewers, nice try, not getting anywhere. Cubs are winning this division. At this point, I would say the Cubs are the favorites in the National League. And, yeah, you know. It's,
And let's ride Spanish Cubs, Viva Venezuela.
That's more hot takes because just the Spanish Cubs, none of them are from Spain.
Spanish Cubs go so much further than just Spain.
No, it's almost racist to a certain extent that you even recognize what fucking country they come from.
Corey, let me give you this reference.
Oh, don't touch me.
Do you believe in the Harley Cards?
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, guys. For those listening, I'm trying to be rational.
Do you believe in the Harley Cards? Answer the question.
But when he talks about the fucking Cubs this way, it just irritates me.
Can you answer the question?
Yes, I do. Now, moving on to actual baseball stuff.
All right.
Cardinals have added Marcell Ozuna, who was fucking awesome last year, but he was in fucking Miami, so nobody gives a shit. They'll get, I mean, that's going to help them. You know, they have the depth of outfielders. You know, they tried to trade for Giancarlo Stanton. Oops. The Brewers, you know, add Christian Yelich, Christian Yelich is fucking awesome, but he's not a pitcher. You know, it doesn't really help the Brewers' rotation. You know, I don't even know if they were to somehow sign Jake Arrieta, I don't think that helps them, you know, too much in the division. They would need everything to go right for them, and then a fuck ton to go wrong for the Cubs. They would need the Cubs to play Jason Hayward at all 9 positions for 162 games.
And Ian Happ, I think, is going to end up starting in right field because
that's quite the expensive defensive replacement.
Because Ian Happ is crushing in spring training.
I saw him take Carson forward. Ian Happ is fucking amazing.
What I like about Ian Happ is he's just so chill about it. Like, he could give 2 shits.
Well, he's a fucking baller.
Yeah.
He looked like he's just that type of guy who, like, if you were to just get in his face and if he's arguing with an umpire or someone just tries to get in his face, he either just fucking like look past you, or he would just like punch you in the fucking nose.
He's intimidating.
Yeah, he's just a fucking baller. I love Ian Happ so much.
I wish I was in South Bend last year for I got to see Dylan Cease and all that. So I wish I could have seen Ian Happ.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, people call me, the MLB pipeline prospect guy in my fucking White Sox chat because every Jose Quintana trade scenario that was possible, I was looking at every prospect from every team, including the Cubs. And fucking Ian Happ, I would have loved Ian Happ. I'm cool with Eloy and Cease, but Ian Happ is just a fucking gamer. That dude should be your leadoff guy. I mean, either him or Almora are just these dudes who just get on base. And for some reason, we fucking know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Joe Maddon's going to end up playing Jason Hayward far too often.
Yeah.
Far too often because he makes that fucking money and he's Jason fucking Hayward because he was the biggest free agent signing. He used to be a good baller. Now he just can't fucking hit for shit.
You got to play the best 9 every day. Joe Madden. You got to play the best 9. You just need it.
I know.
I'm serious.
I understand that. I know Dom said that, so that's why I fucking hate it, because that dude could just fucking die.
He's my director of morale.
I hope he directs you in the fucking
Makes it easier for me to get out of bed in the morning. I really need that boost sometimes.
I hate him so much. But anywho, yeah, it's the Cubs division.
So it's Cubs, Cardinals for me, Brewers, Pirates, Reds. That's how my division's going to fall out.
I'm gonna go with the Brewers in second, just to.
I just think there's literally not a single arm on that team that scares me. Literally nobody.
No, I just think the offense is good. I think they have a really good offense.
I think Zach Davies is a knockoff Kyle Hendricks, which is fine. He can be a good 4 or 5 guy, but right now as your 1, that just doesn't work. Like you know how you've got Kellogg's and you've got Walmart brand. Well, Kyle Hendricks is Kellogg's and Zach Davies is the Walmart.
Why are we trashing Walmart?
Or like the Great Value, like Target brand or whatever. He's the off-brand shit.
The only thing I would say about the Brewers is that they actually still have a decent system to where they can acquire.
I don't know why they haven't traded for somebody. I really don't.
I mean, they can. They still can. That's the point.
But if you wait, you're going to let the Cubs get out in front of you. That's like, why are you waiting?
I mean, I get that. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, and I hate bringing this up, but when the White Sox traded for James Shields in May, you get one of those things just because you don't want to fall behind. They can still do that. They have. A decent system. They have their first-round pick from last year, Keston Hiura, who's probably the best trade piece they have. But you can get somebody. Now, I don't think they can get somebody of the ilk of like an ace or something like that. But you know what? They can acquire somebody.
One last division to get to could quite possibly be the only division in the entire sport where all 5 teams are trying to win this year. The NL West.
Fuck the Padres.
They're going for it. They got Hosmer, they got Will Myers. I mean, they're trying to win games.
I'm sad. Fernando Tatis.
I was like, where are you going with this? Tatis just destroyed the White Sox this week. How did that make you feel?
It hurt me in my nutsack.
Let me get a psychology degree really quick. How did that make you feel?
It hurt me in my nutsack, to be perfectly honest with you.
It's really that easy, man. You just got to ask weird questions. So the NL West,
How's your relationship with your father?
Nope, we're not getting into this.
Big J.
He's listening through the door, waiting for the answer.
He's gonna break down the wall like the
come to the door.
He's gonna break down the wall like the fucking Kool-Aid.
What are you douchebags doing?
You just hear a the NL West. Hang on, quick story. Did you guys listen to what I said in the chat where he customized his own GPS directions on his tablet?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I read that.
So Mike's playing me all these commands like, in 0.5 miles, you're a douchebag, turn left. Like, why did he? I don't know why he took the time out of his day to do that, but
he's Big J.
I wish I could have played it for you. Mike knows how to work it, and he wasn't here. So the NL West, the only division that sent 3 teams to the playoffs last year.
It's a crazy good division.
Possibly, I think it's going to happen again because these teams didn't get worse. I mean, the Rockies got better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
the Dodgers might have taken a step back. They lost you to Darvish.
So let's start at the top with those Los Angeles Dodgers. Every year they come out with a huge payroll. Obviously, it's LA, huge market. They've got the best pitcher in the game.
Best closer in the game.
Kenley Jansen. They've got Corey Seager, who's top 5 shortstop in the game.
Cody Bellinger, who's a stud.
Bellinger, and then other than that, this is an underwhelming team to me.
Whoa, you act like they don't have Jacob Turner at third base either.
Yeah.
You act like they don't have Jacob Turner at third base. You act like they don't have fucking, Clayton Kershaw. You act like they don't, fucking have, Yasmani Grandal, who's a solid catcher.
Grandal lost his spot in the playoffs last year because he's not a catcher, because he lets the ball go to the backstop more often than
I
not.
want to hear it.
Like Austin Barnes took his spot, and Austin Barnes was a garbage can at the beginning of the year. No one liked Austin Barnes.
He was a prospect at the beginning of the year.
I'm just saying, man.
He was a prospect at the beginning
Looking
of
at
the
their
year.
rotation, Kershaw, obviously when healthy, best pitcher in the game, not even close. Like it's literally not close. Rich Hill, old man. Alex Wood, best year of his career last year. Can he sustain it? Kenta Maeda, Young Jing Ryu. Say that name 5 times fast, Matt.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
No.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Kenta Maeda,
You got it wrong the first time.
Ryu. That's what I see at the bottom there. Alex Wood, I don't think he can duplicate what he did last year. Corey, read off the numbers for me. You're looking at for Julio Urias, who's coming off Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at because I was looking at it just.
He's still not in the picture for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was trying to see what his recovery time would be because I remember when the Chris Sale to the Dodgers talks were going on. I fucking loved Julio Urias as a return
So
piece.
not only did they lose Darvish, but they lose Brandon Morrow, who was their key piece in the pen last year. He's a Cub. Both guys are Cubs. This pen, Josh Fields, Pedro Baez, Tony Cingrani, Tom Kohler, who's hurt actually, not going to start the season in the bullpen. So you got Kelly Jansen, who's obviously the best closer in the game. I think the Dodgers could possibly fall off the top of the NL West this year.
And I'm going to disagree with you because of the fact that their farm is so good. Now, they got Walker Buehler, who, again, another draft regret that the White Sox had. They drafted Carson Fulmer ahead of Walker Buehler.
We all have regrets.
Yeah. I don't know if you're mocking me.
No, I'm
'Cause
being,
I was going to say, I was going to roast you for the Cubs things, but that's
I'm being serious.
they have the trade pieces to make shit work if they want to. They definitely can afford to trade for another elite pitcher or an elite bullpen piece if they really wanted to, or they could just wait on Walker Buehler becoming that elite bullpen or that elite rotation piece because he's one of the best pitching prospects in all of baseball. So you could say I would agree with you that they took a step back. I still think they're the favorites in their division.
I'm thinking the Rockies could really, really push to win this division. And, if I'm being logical, I pick the Dodgers. But I want to go outside the box here. I'm going to pick the Rockies to win the NL West. And they've got so many good bats. I mean, you look at Blackman, who absolutely crushed the ball last year. I remember before the season last year, there was some
Everybody
rumors.
crushes at course.
Look up Charlie Blackman's stats from
I know,
last year.
I
I mean, he absolutely crushed the ball, regardless of what fucking ballpark he played in. The Cubs were rumored to be interested in him. It would have been a great move for them, as it turns out, because he had the best year of his life last year.
I'm looking at it. 331 with 37 bombs.
Yes.
I don't need advanced statistics to know that's a good year.
Yeah, I mean, Arenado's still at third base. I mean, and Brendan Rodgers on the way.
Brendan Rodgers is so good. But I'm looking at it right now, Charlie Blackman, his OPS was exactly 1.000, and he had a 6.50 WAR last year. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. Remember that they put him number 1 center fielder.
It's Mike Trout.
Yeah,
it's
no.
never any answer
Bruce
but
Wayne.
Mike Trout.
They made a lot of improvements to the bullpen. Wade Davis, Brian Shaw, Jake McGee's back. They've got Mike Dunn. I mean, they made a lot of improvements.
Yo, if they bring back like Holland or something, that'd be fucking crazy.
I think the rotation is the question mark.
Oh yeah.
Gray, Bettis, Marquez, can these guys continue success? Can they get better? Can they progress? What if they sign a pitcher? What if they sign a starter?
Yeah,
There's still
I mean,
a couple guys.
well,
Alex Cobb
now-
available. Arrieta's still available.
Again, that too, but you have the guys up there. You have Marquez, Freeland, and Gray, all were top 100 prospects.
These guys are all young.
Yeah, they're all
Absolutely.
really young, and that's how the Rockies just throughout have to get pitchers because pitchers never want to sign at Coors
And
because Coors is one of the worst pitching parks in all of baseball.
this is why they hired their manager, Bud Black.
Yeah,
He's a pitching
great
guru.
pitching coach. Yeah,
Pitching guru.
and you know what? They have this really good young core of pitching. They're not going to pitch too great in Coors, but they need to be able to pitch well outside of Coors.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the playoffs, they need to be ready. And I think I don't think it's the worst take in the world to say that they can win the NL West because they're just loaded offensively and they have the pieces to acquire an ace if they want to.
Sure. I'm going to pick the Rockies to win. I'm going to put the Dodgers in second place. Corey's going to flip that, go Dodgers 1, Rockies 2. We're going to be consensus on the third team coming out of the state of Arizona.
Yikes.
The Diamondbacks. I almost said the Arizona State. I had to stop myself.
Okay.
The Diamondbacks. So really, only subtraction here for them will be J.D. Martinez, who was there.
That's a big subtraction.
But they bring in Steven Souza Jr. That
Who's an adequate replacement.
softens the blow.
Absolutely. It's still low, but they soften
They
it.
got an upgraded catcher. They've got Alex Avila, who had really good numbers last year
Yeah,
for Detroit and the
he's,
Cubs.
he's always been like weirdly there that he could actually get on base and handle a pitching staff. I mean, the White Sox had him and he was all right, but he's interesting. You still got Paul fucking Goldschmidt.
Yeah, who's second best first baseman in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Lamb, really good third baseman. Peralta, AJ Pollock, solid center fielder.
Yep.
He can flat out rake. The rotation is good. Greinke at the top is going to carry the load. Robbie Ray, Patrick Corbin, Godley, if he continues to get better, and Taijuan Walker. Solid 1 through 5.
Absolutely.
And then the bullpen, this is the part they're going to need to improve.
Yeah.
Bradley, he's a former top prospect as a starter. Now he's in the bullpen. Was dominant last year. Mike Stud has a signed jersey from him. They're buddies.
Yikes.
Just saying. He's going to take over the close role this year. They've got Brad Boxberger in the bullpen, Randall Delgado, Jorge De La Rosa. I mean, a lot of question marks there. If they want to compete in the NL West and the wild card and further in the playoffs, you got to make moves in this bullpen.
And the thing is, too, they need to get real lucky with some of with the bullpen because they don't have a farm really to deal from. Their top prospect is their top pick from last year, Pavin Smith. Who's a first base prospect. He's number 63 in the top 100, but that's mostly because he was just drafted. He doesn't have the prospect shine that's worn off yet. I mean, they don't have really much to make moves with. So if they're going to work on that bullpen, they need to, get creative. But that's the reason why I have them in third. They have a lot of talent at the big league level, questions in the bullpen, and not much they can do about it.
They got some constraint money-wise, too, because of the hit that they take paying Greinke, 35% of their money.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't Greinke like 40% of their payroll?
Yeah,
It's
it's
fucking
a
crazy.
ridiculous amount. Moving to the fourth place team, I'm going to put San Fran here. I'm going to assume you have San Diego in last place, whether it's out of spite for Tatis or just the hate for the Hosmer signing, whatever.
Well, I think they did enough. Legitimately though, my hate for the Padres and Fernando Tatis aside, I think San Fran did enough to where they're going to be a fourth place team. They traded for Andrew McCutchen, traded for Evan Longoria, which those are good. Just be a team that sticks in fourth place and gets beat up on by the Diamondbacks, Rockies, and Dodgers. They're not going to be a last place team because I don't think the Padres are particularly good. But
the Padres are still a little bit away, but I think they're actually trying to win for the first time in forever, which is,
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting because they're doing it in a weird way that it's just fucking weird.
And the Giants, they still have Mad Bum. He's hopefully not riding any dirt bikes in the offseason. He's going to make 30, 33 starts.
Cueto and Shark, you still got.
Cueto and Samardzija, they're going to eat innings. They're going to be very solid pitchers for you. Melanson, you have to hope he bounces back. Bullpen is pretty decent. Watson comes in. They got Hunter Strickland, who's an absolute
Watson was a good signing. Watson was a very good signing.
McCutchen, he still has some stuff left in the tank. I'm not worried about him as much as I am about, Hunter Pence is still starting for you. That's a yikes. Evan Longoria, he's been trending downward the last 2 seasons. You have to see what he can give you at third base. Pablo Sandoval's on this team.
Okay, Pablo Sandoval's not playing a big role.
You better fucking hope he's not,
Okay.
because that's bad.
You got Buster Posey, who's still a top 5.
Posey, yeah, he can bounce between catcher and first base, keep him fresh. Brandon Crawford is an outstanding shortstop. As a glove, the bat has caught up to him. He's a world-class player, and then I think they can finish in fourth in this division with ease. I think they're gonna be 5, 10, maybe 15 games in front of the Padres. The Padres, listen, you made some good moves. You got Will Myers, you got Eric Hosmer, you got Tatis. Who knows when he's gonna be up? You think he cracks anywhere close to the big leagues this year?
Where is he at? Because they rushed him. They skipped high A ball with him. I'm just gonna pull up, guys. As always, I have Pipeline open on my computer. Where the fuck? Here it is. Okay, so they rushed him past high A ball last year. They brought him up to Double A. So they have to have some sort of timeline for him in mind where he can be a contributor at some point in 2018. I don't know. I don't understand why they would.
They bridged the gap. They brought in Galvis, who's got to be the bridge.
See, that's the thing with the Padres. You say they're trying to win, and I don't disagree with you because every baseball team's trying to win. I fucking get it. At some point, even if you're tanking, you're trying to win in the future. But they traded a top 10 prospect from their system at the time for Galvis, which was just really weird. You don't do that on a rebuilding team, especially at a position where you're trying to bridge the gap, unless they're going to put Tatis at third.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But strictly on Tatis, yes, it breaks my heart that he's gone. He would look great in a White Sox uniform right now, but they brought him up to Double-A last year. He struggled a little bit. He had a 255 average, but his OPS was 608, which is not something you want to see from a guy who's supposed to be a middle of the order bat for you. He's ripping up spring training, which that hurts me too. It hurts. Oh my God, MLB Pipeline. Every time he does something, they show it. On the Twitter account, it's fucking horrific. It hurts me deeply.
Will Myers is going to move from first to right field. Manuel Marquette is in center. That's a pretty good, solid
Manuel Marquette. Is it Marquette or Margot? Margot. Good center fielder.
Yeah, he's great. With Will Myers out there, that's going to be solid. The reason they finished in last place is the rotation. There's Clayton Richards in it. Enough said. I mean, Cub fans, you saw a lot of Clayton Richard. I mean, he's been around the league. Tyson Ross is back. It's just, you got to wait for Mackenzie Gore to get here. He's going to be your ace. And the bullpen.
Mackenzie Gore is so good.
It's not much better. You got Brad Hand out there. The reason they're going to lose a lot of games is their pitching staff is bad. I mean, their lineup is a lot better than it was last year. Hedges, their catcher, is carrying up spring training play. They have a pretty solid spring.
Now, I want to say on paper their lineup is a lot better than last spring. And
correct.
Eric Hosmer, but I've already said my piece on the Eric Hosmer deal. First of all, there was I don't want to get this wrong, but there's some baseball analytics website that a guy who worked for them wrote an article saying why Eric Hosmer is just not a good free agent acquisition. Then he leaves them for a job with the Padres, and then he helps them sign Eric Hosmer.
That's wild.
It was I gotta pull up.
That's stumped.
That'll be a different show.
Just stumped.
But I mean, that's so much money that they're giving Eric Hosmer, and that's a big park. That's a big park.
It's not a big park, it's the biggest park.
Yeah, and but you're playing in San Fran, which is a huge park. These
huge right field for a left-handed hitter.
Well, yeah, for Eric Hosmer. I mean, I don't think the signing's gonna work out for them. I've said that already, but they're taking I feel like they're taking steps in the right direction, but they're like sidestepping at times on their way there. Like trading for Freddie Galvis is a weird sidestep. Trading for Eric Hosmer to be your middle of the order bat is a weird sidestep. They stole Fernando Tatis in an illegal way, by the way. But
they made some sketchy trades.
That was some sketchy shit because of all the medical records they were hiding. But they're gonna finish in last place. It is what it is. This isn't their year. I think how many is it? They have 6 of their top 8 prospects in the best farm system in baseball at the moment are pitchers. So they do have pitching help coming on the way. But it's not going to be there anytime soon. You got to wait for Mackenzie Gore, who is going to be an ace.
So sick. I'm going to go Rockies, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants, Padres.
I'm flipping the Dodgers and the Rockies.
And that'll do it for the NL. We did the East. We did the Central. It's the O's League. We did the West.
Oh.
Just had to stick that in there. Did you put a finger up again?
Yeah, I'm counting all your hot takes.
Hey, well, you would need more than 2 hands because we're all over the
hot
takes tonight.
We're at like 15 right now. I only have 2 hands.
So sick. You got toes.
I'm about to take off a sock.
No, that's why we're going to end the podcast right there. As always, it's been Mom's Basement. Follow us on Twitter at Mom's Basement 18. Follow me at Joe_Frank01. Corey at Corey Al Diablo. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button on the way out on iTunes. Do the same and leave that 5-star review. We're coming in hot next week with a bunch of NFL and NBA talk. NFL is going crazy right now. I can't even keep up with it. It's absolutely insane.
He's white girl.
I am. It's ridiculous what's going on in the NFL. So catch that episode on the channel next week, and we will see you guys then.